What's up, gang? Good morning. It is Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday, May 26th. And we are going to be doing a coffee talk today on what we were talking about yesterday. I'm going to actually draw it out for you, to be honest with you. I'm going to map it out. I've got my, my handy dandy little digital notepad here, my little iPad. And I've already drew some things here. So I'm going to show you some of my artwork. It's not pretty, but I promise it will make sense. So we're going to be diving into that, and I will kind of scroll through and show you what we're going to be doing here. But I did want to just say welcome to this this coffee talk, this Take Action morning show today, which is going to be all about really creating and connecting the dots with this new Pinterest strategy that I've been talking about. And yesterday, if you missed it, I kind of went over and shared the 10,000 foot view, and I explained everything as far as how we've been able to do it, how this even came to be. And, and now it's becoming a strategy that I am going to make sure that we deploy in every single brand that we have. And actually, we are going to be teaching this in a workshop, which is coming up. And I should probably give you the URL if you're interested, at brandcreators.com/workshop. And that is going to be myself and my secret weapon, my daughter, who also is, gosh, she's 6.5, almost 7 months pregnant. So yeah, she's going to be doing this while she's pregnant as well. But she's a lot like me. It's funny. The other morning, she messaged me at like 6:30 in the morning before I was actually ready to get going. I was doing my walk and stuff, and she was up and ready to go. And I was like, yep, you're my daughter, ready to go. Doesn't matter if you're pregnant or not. Got stuff to do, you know? So yeah, so she's going to be helping us out with this. She's the one that brought this strategy to me. We were playing around with Pinterest, and then she went ahead and she mapped out a strategy. And I said, okay, that's great that we got a strategy, but now let's put it into play. Let's put it into action and see what happens. And we've been pleasantly surprised. And actually, I checked this morning, our numbers are actually going up. In one of the brands, we had over 200, and I believe it was 208 visitors yesterday from Pinterest alone. We had a total of 1,100 page views, and the other brand was just over 900, and we had about 170 from Pinterest. So it's growing, it's exciting, and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys today. So let's see who's showing up today. Let's see who these action takers are here on the Take Action Morning Show, and who's the Take Action Morning crew. Let's see who we got here. Oh, we've got the regulars, of course. We've got Karen. Good morning. Got up early this morning. I'm ready to go. All right. Let's see here. Morning, James. Welcome. Glad to have you back. Justin is here from Australia. Derek from Atlanta, Georgia. What's up? Kate is here. Good morning. Salama, of course, is here. What's up, Salama? Although you explained it, I'm sure I need to take your course. Mike. Yeah, I think you're talking about the Pinterest thing. Yeah. I mean, if you have let me just throw this out there. If you have a website or you have a place that you want to drive traffic to, then I would consider it because the traffic is really good. When I used to think it wasn't good, but it's all about how you get the traffic, and it's not about the impressions. A lot of people get kind of blown away by these numbers that they hear out there. They're like, oh my gosh, like 380,000 impressions in 20 days. And that's accurate. But those impressions don't mean anything to me unless I'm getting link clicks over to my website. It's funny. I tell my son this too, who, he's on Instagram. He's in that crowd, right? Those younger kids, right? And it's all Instagram. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Right? You got 10,000 followers. Awesome. You're getting 6,000 views on your videos. Great. Let me see the link clicks to your website. That's what I'm looking for. Right? And so I'm always looking at that. That's the metric that's important to me. If you send out emails, getting them opened, getting clicked, right? Getting clicked inside of there to go over to your website. That's the main number that I'm concerned with. Okay, we got to get the open, we got to get the click. And here, we got to put a pin out there. It's great that we got people to actually see it in their feed, but how many people actually clicked? That's the important thing. And I also don't even like just relying on the analytics inside of Pinterest. I like to look at the analytics inside of the Google Analytics on our site. And that's where I'm getting my numbers from. So, all right, let me move on here. I got a little bit on a tangent there. Jennifer, what's up, Jennifer? How are you doing? Rebecca's in the house. Good morning. Let's see. Ashley's in the house. What's up, Ashley? Mike Smiley. Morning, family. And you got to smile when you hear of Mike Smiley coming on the Take Action Morning Show. Marius. Hello, Scott. Marius here. Let's see if you are pronouncing correctly this time. Marius, did I pronounce that right? Let me know if I did that right or not. I'm curious myself. Let's see. Deborah, good morning. How are you? Grace, good morning from California. Early in California right now, right? 3 hours difference here. We're East Coast. Mel, hiya. Good morning to you as well. And almost. All right. Marius or Marius? Which one? Okay. Debbie, what's up? Hey, Scott, good morning. Good morning to you. Oh, let me just show you guys what we're going to be doing here today. All right. I'm going to switch over to my screen here in a minute. But we do need to take a break and take a sip of this coffee. I brewed it. It's still hot. I don't want to ruin the flavor of the hot bulletproof coffee. It's really important. Instagram. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to be sharing my screen. You're not going to be able to see it there, but you can see it there by going to takeactioncrew.com. Check it out. Boy, that is kind of bright on my face there, isn't it? Well, that's going to have to go. All right, here we go. So let me go ahead and show you guys. So I did a little bit of doodling here this morning for you guys. I wanted to kind of be prepared a little bit. Now, don't judge me on my artwork, please. But I'm going to do my best here to try to break everything down. Mel says, coffee? I listen to this show as I make my coffee. What are you doing? French press? What are you doing over there, Mel, with your coffee? Just curious. Okay. So, and if you guys are just tuning in, we're going to go over the Pinterest strategy that I shared yesterday, but I'm going to outline it here and just look what I've done here for you guys. Look at this. Look at the beautiful artwork we got going on here. And let me just say that it will all make sense once I get to go through this with you. All right. So don't judge me on my artwork, please. All right. I'm trying. I'm really trying. And it's not that easy with this stylus either. It's just not the easiest thing to draw with. But it's, I'm not complaining. I'm pretty satisfied that I can actually put something down on this iPad and make it come to life. All right. So let me take that Brand Creators Workshop off of there. If you are interested, though, in joining our workshop, we're going to be doing that on June 1st. Enrollment opens tomorrow. And tomorrow, we're going to have a Fast Action Takers bonus, which is a discount. So if you're at all interested, go there, get on the list, and we will let you know when we open the doors, which is 9 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time. And then you'll have a shot to get in there and learn with us on this. All right, cool. Let me get rid of that. There we go. All right, cool. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in and we're going to cover this. All right. So yesterday, now, if you did attend yesterday's coffee talk, then this will build on that. Okay. It'll also illustrate it more than me just telling you and sharing the 10,000 foot view. All right. So if you missed that one too, I'm going to go ahead and put this link here or this card on YouTube if this is being aired after the fact, which it should be. So right there. Okay. So yesterday's was all about this strategy. So let me kind of get right to it. Okay. So the Pinterest strategy looks like this. All right. And let me make sure that I've got my pen handy here. And I'm going to use green now because I didn't use green at all. So this way here, it'll help me stay on track. So right here, okay, that right there, we need to make sure that we have a Pinterest business account. Okay, that's the very first thing that we need. From there, what we're going to do is we are going to start creating these boards. Okay, now each board, look at this. Okay, all of these boards. Okay, and well, I should probably take that last one off. Let me take that last one off. Oops, I erased that. I didn't want to erase that. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. I got to put my 8 back in there. There it is. All right, let's get back to the green. All right, cool. So what we want to do here is for these here, I'm going to connect these dots. Okay, for those there, what we're doing is we're creating boards. okay, boards that reside inside of our account. So we have our account right here, right? That's our account. And what we're doing is we're creating these boards that are inside of our account, okay? So now from there, you see this over here, okay? See that little spot there? LT, that stands for long tail keywords. We're treating these, each one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just call it 7 right now. If you do 5, it's fine. We're treating those as assets that we're building inside of our Pinterest account, okay? And what that is doing is it's also now being titled. Each board has a title. The title is a long tail keyword, okay? One could be tips to catch more bass, right? Or it could be even more long tail, tips to catch more bass in a pond, right? Or best bass fishing lures 2020, right? Those would be individually titled. Now, here's the thing. Once we create that, okay, that is now a piece of real estate that resides on Pinterest, but under our account. As we fill that, okay, as we fill that board with related stuff to that topic, we're building an asset that can be searched and found on Google, okay? So we're able to now tap into Google indexing a high authoritative site, okay, Pinterest, and coming up in search. And I'm sure that you've done that before. I have. If I'm searching for something on Google, a lot of times I'll get a Pinterest board that gets ranked, right? Now that board gets ranked because other people have saved it and liked it and interacted with it and all of that stuff. So as we build these, we do want to build out a really, really good asset. So the first part of this strategy is 8, 9, and 10. Those boards we're not creating as of yet. These first 7 boards, in this case, if it's 5, it's 5. It doesn't matter. Those are all going to be created with the intention at first in phase 1 to really add different pins from other people's their accounts. Okay. So if we find someone that's already publishing fishing tips, we're going to go and find other pins from other people and start to fill our boards. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because we can instantly start to add content to our boards and fill them out, right? And then over time, we can start to sprinkle ours in there, okay? But not yet. Right now, it's just a matter of letting the account get seasoned, letting the account get known that it is basically pinning stuff that's related to this market. That's all that we're doing there, okay? And so I have here, I'll circle it, mix of others, okay? Meaning having other people's pins, okay, on those boards. That's what we're doing. Now, in this part right here, okay, that comes after. And now this arrow right here, this arrow, that arrow, I'm going to show you where that's going here in a minute as I scroll through my little doodle here. But that right there, those 3 boards are going to be set up as the best of your brand. Okay. So it's going to be all of your stuff and only your stuff. You're not going to put anybody else's stuff on those boards. Okay. Those are going to be dedicated for just your stuff. And right now we're starting with 3, but we could add 5, we can add 10. It doesn't matter. At this point, this is what we are doing in this strategy. Okay. So now, as you can see there, we have an arrow that's in blue and an arrow that's in red right here and here. Okay. And what this is showing you is that what we're doing is all of these boards that are being created, every single board and every single pin that we create can potentially lead people back to our website. Okay. And you might be saying, well, Scott, if someone else's pin is there, isn't it directing to their website? Yes. But by adding them to that board, that can get that board ranked, which could lead people to our account, which then they could click through from one of our pins. Okay. So just think about it that way. Now, again, you really do need a website or a place that you are driving people to. So that's why I have this here. That's our website. Okay. Our website is our home base. That's where we want the traffic to go, right? So all of this stuff up top here is leading people back to our website. But there's another part of this strategy that is going to allow us to be able to drive people from our website over to Pinterest. Okay. And why would we want to do that? Well, because we want them to take our pin and pin it on their board. Okay. So let me demonstrate this here. Let me see if I can scroll this. Oh yeah, look at that. All right. So I'm going to stop right there for a second. Okay. So right here, as you can see, oh, I just drew an arrow there. Darn it. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So let me just scroll that down just a touch. Okay, cool. So there we go. All right, we're back to drawing. Okay, so we have our website, right? Now, the key is this. Let's say that we create our blog post. Our blog post right here, okay? Now, this is our blog post. Now, down here, we have a pinnable image, okay? And that pinnable image needs to be the right dimensions for Pinterest, okay? So what you do is you create that pin or that image will reside on your website. And then from there, that's why I have the arrow here, it is going to direct them to the best of, okay? It's going to direct them to the best of. Now, the other thing is you can also sprinkle, you can also sprinkle that in on any of these too, because then that board is going to have a mix of yours and other people's stuff. But these over here are only going to have your stuff. Okay. All right. So now that we're clear on that, right? So that's what we're doing there, right? Website, blog post, pinnable image that supports the post. That thing gets also pinned inside of our best of, but also it's an image that if they hover over it, okay, or they have you have a share feature on your website, you can then, they'll hit that or they'll click that, and then it will pop up that image to be pinned on one of their boards and they'll save it, right? So that's a way, once we start getting traffic to our website, we can actually get people on our website to then take that image and pin it on other people's boards, okay? So that's really the overall mix in the process, okay, that has to happen. So let me just kind of cover this, and I'll cover it right here. So these are like the steps, the basic steps, right? So we have number one, right, is to create a Pinterest business account. Pinterest business account that supports your brand, okay? Number two, create 5 to 7 boards and make sure that they are keyworded, meaning that you do some research to find some good long tail keywords that support your business. And the way to do that is you go to Pinterest and you let the auto suggest tell you. Just type in bass fishing, find someone that's already doing bass fishing, find the boards that are doing well, and then just model those, okay? This one here, number 3, pop-ins. Well, that's not really what it is. It's abbreviation, all right? We want to pin other people's pins. Say that one fast. Pin other people's pins. That was pretty good. So we want to pin other people's pins on those boards, okay? Not the best of our boards, all of the other boards that have a mix, okay? And then here we want to put our stuff on our best of boards, okay? Here we want to create your pins and support the content, okay? Support the content that you're creating on your website or on your blog, right? And then what we want to do is we want to add those to our website and make sure that they're pinnable images, okay? Those are the basic 6 steps in this process, all right? Now, let me show you a little more drawing, okay? So this is just to kind of break this down and how this looks, right? So if you look at this, all right, up here, okay, we have our boards, okay? So these are our boards, okay? Now, the cool thing is that these are all, they're indexable, okay? Meaning that they are now a piece of property that resides on your Pinterest account, but also that can be found by search, okay? Now, imagine this right here, okay? Right here, okay, in this area. And the only reason why I'm drawing here so you guys know where I'm talking. So this is one board, just one board, okay? But you have all of these different pins, these images that support your website, and they all have a chance to drive people back. So if your board is found, okay, then you also lead people to all of your other places where people can find you, or the pin itself can be located and then the board is discovered, right? So it kind of builds on itself, right? There's all of these different signals going back and forth that can support your website. But in the end, that's what I'm concerned with. And that's what I want to get, is more visitors to the website. And right now, this strategy that we've been using has gotten in one brand last month was 4,343, I think was the exact number. It was over 4,000. All right. Now, the other brand that I'm also referring to had over, I believe that one was over 2,000. Okay. So right now, I'm happy if we deploy this strategy that in 30 to 45 days, I'm happy if I can get to 100 unique visitors coming to my website from this strategy alone. And then from there, we're going to build on that. Okay. Because over time, that is going to increase. All right. But once you do this, it's really only going to take you probably less than 30 to 40 minutes a week, right, to do this, if you set it up properly. Now, the first initial setup is going to be the longest. It's like anything. You got to build the thing, and then you can start like building a website. It's going to take longer to build the website than it is to add the new piece of content, right? But we got to get it built first. So this right here is something that I feel will definitely work now, but in the future. And here's why. There's nothing black hat about this. This is all white hat. It's all adding value to, think about it. We're adding value by creating a good resource for our market. That's what we're doing here. So just remember, what we're doing here, to me, is evergreen, meaning also we are creating something that can get found now, and it can get found 6 months from now, 6 years from now, okay? Because it's a search platform, okay? Pinterest is a search platform. If you're looking for ideas for a party, you're going to go there. If you're looking for decor ideas, you're going to go there. If you're looking about customizing your Sprinter van, which I just started following someone on Instagram, it's amazing. They take these little Sprinter vans and they modify them, they remodel them and put all this wood in there, and they travel in these things. They have a shower in there. It's crazy, right? That would be a Pinterest interest that you could go and start building these different boards on different parts of that, different travel things, different remodeling ideas, all of that stuff, because you're into that. Okay. Which that might be one I might do as a demo here too. Maybe inside of the workshop when we do it. Cause my daughter and I talked, we're going to probably do a few like market validation examples as kind of our kickoff call to the workshop. And I might do that one because I think that one would be a really good example of that. So anyway, that's what we're looking at here, guys. All right. So let me scroll and see what else I got for you guys. Okay, here we go. And this is the last of it. Okay. So here's, we have Pinterest. Okay. And then we have the pin, which is an asset that will lead people, okay, to our website. And then our website, because we have a pin that resides there, leads people back to Pinterest. I can also do this, right? So it basically, it just kind of works itself in back and forth, right? So website to Pinterest, Pinterest to website, right? So we're able to capitalize on the traffic to our web or from our website to get more people to see our pins on Pinterest. And then we also get to show up on Pinterest and have people find us there and then lead them back to our website. All right. And that's it in a nutshell. And this little pretty little drawing here, that's supposed to look like a pin, by the way, which that's not a pretty pin, but you get it. It's red, right? So that pin right here, right? That pin is now inside of our Pinterest account. Okay. But that resides there. Okay. So I know we're going to have some questions. I mean, look at that, guys. That's a lot of drawing this morning I did, didn't I? If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And then also, let me also say this. If you guys are interested in joining our workshop, we are going to be teaching this June 1st, taking you through the entire process, looking over my shoulder, my daughter's shoulder, and really breaking it down, but also implementation. Creating pins. What does a good pin look like? What's a good one? What's a bad one? How to best, structure them and lay them out. So all of that stuff is really important as well. But then really building it and then implementing it. And then at the end of the 2 weeks that we're together, you're going to have everything set up. You're going to have your process in place, and you're going to have templates for your pin, for your images that you're pinning or creating pins for. And then from there, you're going to be able to continue doing that. That's the goal. So if you're interested, brandcreators.com/workshop, and you can find all the details out over there. All right. And we're opening up enrollment tomorrow, and it's going to be closing on Sunday. And the first fast action takers that join will get a discount. All right. So let's see what we got for questions. I know we're going to have questions. I just know it. Let's see. Oh, and Marius or Marius. Marius. I think that was it. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Grace says, I'm so confused with how Pinterest works, but want to understand it, so I'm listening. Okay, yes, it can seem confusing, but it really doesn't have to be. And just take it from me, simplifying is going to be the formula here. Okay, simplifying it and not thinking you got to spend a whole bunch of time. Okay, it's like I just shared here with you. It is literally creating assets that reside there, but then they direct people to the website, and then the website directs people over to Pinterest. So you're not taking traffic away, because when someone pins that image, they're not pinning it. And going to have to go over to, it's not like they're going to be taking away. It's going to take them to a pinnable image that they can then access their boards, because they're going to be logged in as Pinterest or under their Pinterest account. That's kind of how that works. Salama, love it when you show us on the screen rather than just talk about the strategy. Yeah, I know. I try to do that as much as I can. Yep. Fresh ground, fresh press, a little coconut sugar, homemade coconut, cashew, oat milk. Thank you. Almond cow. Yeah. That sounds like a good cup of coffee right there. What software are you using for illustrations? Well, this here, I'm just using the notepad inside of the iPad. That's it. Derek, do we have to put keywords somewhere on page or pages we post? Are you talking about your blog post, or are you talking about Pinterest? Let's see. And let me ask you guys this. Are any of you right now currently using Pinterest for your business? Put that in the comments down below. I'd love to see that. When we use other people's content, can the traffic still be sent to our website? No. And it's not important, okay, that happens. That's where they mess this up. Because what you got to understand is that board that you're creating, you want people to come there and find it and get a ton of value, right? Even though there might be 100 pins on there and 100 of those go to other people's website, you're going to get more benefits from you being found, okay? And then them also being able to go see your other boards. Now, that board that they discover, they're going to be scrolling through. If you've got some really nice looking pins, they're probably going to click on yours too. So yeah, I don't worry about that. We don't worry about that. It's not like, oh, I don't want to post theirs because it's going to direct them to their website. We don't care about that. Okay. We don't need to worry about that. Pinnable images have to be yours, not others that you were using. Pinnable images, yes, they're going to be ours that we're going to create. Okay. And that they're going to be put on our website. And then also we're going to add those and others that support the post. That's the other thing. So let me pull the drawing back up here one more time. Let's see here. And I'm going to show you guys something. All right. Let me share my screen once again. We have a blank screen. That is good. All right. So here we go. And I am going to use the red. Okay. So here's what we're doing. Okay. So we have, this is a blog post. Okay. Okay. That's a blog post. And then we have a pinnable image there. Okay. This is our Pinterest account. Okay. That's our Pinterest account. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to, I should probably do this too. Let me just do this, 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 this. These are all boards. Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say, okay, this board makes the most sense. We're going to put it here. Okay. So that pin is going to live there. Okay. Now when they post, when they share this, that's going to go to theirs. So I'm going to say visitor. Ooh, that's bad. That doesn't look that neat, does it? Well, it's close enough. You guys get it. Okay. So the visitor now, they're going to pin it on their board. Okay. Which can then lead people back here. Okay. But then the other thing that we're going to do is on our Pinterest account. Okay. We're also going to create, to support this post, a pin on this board and a pin on this board. And we're going to link to this blog post. So we're going to technically have 3 pins. Not always. We're at least going to have the one, right? But we're going to have another one and another one, okay? These 2 right here are going to be independent. They're going to be on the, or in our Pinterest account on different boards, okay? And then it's going to drive people to that blog post. So the link in that is going to point to that blog post. The other one is going to point to that blog post. The one on our website is going to be pinnable, and we can also share that same pin on another board of ours. So we can actually have, multiple boards that have multiple pins for the same post. They just need to be different and unique. Okay. So that was some scribble right there, but I think it helped. Hopefully it did. Grace says, this is great. Awesome. All right. I have a Pinterest business account with a few boards and mixed pins. How can I implement your strategies for my present boards, or do you suggest creating completely new boards? Yeah, I would create more boards. I would create new boards. If you have a board that makes sense, then keep it. Don't get rid of it. But I would recommend looking at your boards as keyword potential. Okay. Meaning whatever your market is searching for, that should be a board. Okay. And that should be a new board. If you have I think you said I have a few boards, you should have probably at least 10 boards and all specific, right? Like it could be like, let's see, best finishes for, interior van, Sprinter or something like that. Whatever. I'm trying to make up a keyword on the fly here, but that's what you would do. And then that board would just have everything about interior stuff that is being put on the walls of a Sprinter van, right? So yeah, I think you need to create a mix of boards, but they have to be, again, think about the keyword that you're going after. So if someone was to search that on Google and they found that board, would that help them with the solution, or the thing that they're looking for? Will that give that to them? I never did much to improve my Pinterest traffic and happy to optimize, especially for my new blog. Yeah, I would be doing that for sure. Let's see. Oh, got questions. Okay, cool. Wow, we got a lot of questions. Okay, Kate, if we don't have a website yet, but have a Facebook biz account, is this okay? Drive traffic to Facebook biz page. The reason I don't have a website yet is that I get stuck on name of it, back and forth on niche, drive myself nuts. Tell me to just get the website up. I need to get past my doubts so I can get a website today and take your class and drive traffic. Yeah, Kate, I mean, I think we talked about this before with you. Yeah, we need to pick something. And regardless if it's going to be your long-term brand, it's going to get you the information, the learning, the application. It's going to give you all of that. So you got to look at it like almost like I'm saying, listen, we're starting your college class in a week. You need to have this stuff done before you come to class, or you're going to lose your $10,000 for that class that you enrolled in, right? For college. That's what we're talking about here. Because if you get something up and running, you can do this stuff to at least learn how to apply it. Then I'm doing this right now, but I've been doing traffic stuff and building websites and all of that stuff for years, but it starts with one and then kind of teaches you, and then you build to the next. So these are all stepping stones. But I would not probably recommend driving people from Pinterest over to, to your Facebook page. You're just taking traffic and directing it to Facebook, which is another platform that you don't own. Right. So I'm always trying to figure out a way that I can either build my email list or I can drive traffic to my website. And to answer your question, if you are going to have a website, I don't care if it's brand new and you have one piece of content on it, you can implement this strategy right alongside it. And if we're starting a brand new business or a brand from scratch, we're starting with those two things as those two components right now. Okay. So yes, I do believe that you can, but you do need to have that website ready to go. So I would say make sure that you have that if you did want to take our class. Can we send them to a landing page that is not a website? You can. Absolutely, you can. 100%. Now, I would like for you to have some external traffic going to a website, but you can totally use this for building a website for sure. But we all know that if you get a visitor to a landing page, it doesn't mean that they're going to convert. So let's say that you convert at 20%. You need 100 people to visit before you get 20 opt-ins. And that's fine. I personally would like to look for traffic that I can control, because on the traffic, we can monetize it, later. Salama, how many boards should you have? How many pins per board? Great questions. Okay. So as far as how many boards, I think in the very beginning, and what my daughter is suggesting and what I believe is the right amount right now is between 5 and 10 to get started. Now, 7 of those could be other people's, and then 3 could be your own. But in the beginning, a minimum of 5. But as far as pins go, you don't want to set your account up and put 100 pins in one day, right? So the way that you would do this is you would then, the first week, what you're going to be doing is creating those boards with keyword search in mind, okay? And then you're going to start filling them out, maybe 3 pins, maybe 5 pins on another one, maybe 2 on another. You're going to be going through there and adding what you think would be a good resource for you if you were, your avatar, right? And then you're going to do that every day, right? So that's like the process. Like, okay, I've got 5 boards. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to just go ahead and fill each one with 2 or 3 different ideas that I'm finding from other pins that are out there. And that's it. You're kind of seasoning the account. Then what you would do is once you have your own content, then you can start developing your own pins and then start to pin them on your own boards and then also sprinkle them in on the other boards. There's not a count like, oh, here's the formula. You need 25 pins on this one, you need 32 on this one, and you need 17 on the other. That's the winning formula. No, that's not how it works. However many it needs to become a really, really good resource. That's what we're doing here. We're building a resource for other people. When they land there, they're going to get a really good resource and they're going to want to save that board. That's the other cool thing, right? Derek, what time? Oh, I think it's what time is your trainings? Okay. The cool thing about and I'll throw this back up there, guys. If you're interested in joining us, get on the wait list. We're going to be opening enrollment tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And we're going to start the class on June 1st. What we're doing is it's a hybrid type training. Now we've taught this, I guess, like, let's call it version 1. We taught this inside of Brand Creators Academy. What we're doing is we're giving it a version 2, okay, after we've gotten questions from inside of the academy and just other people asking us certain things like you just did, like how many pins should I have, all that stuff. So we're creating it more or less like a version 2, and we are going to have recorded trainings so you can watch them whenever you want to, okay, so throughout the week, but you do need to have them done by the end of the week. So this way here, when we do our live Q&A call, that there will be useful for you. Now, if you can't make that live Q&A call, you can submit your questions. And then what we're going to do is answer those on the call, and we're going to give the recording to all of the students. Okay. So you'll have that. If you're inside of Brand Creators Academy right now, and I had this question yesterday, you are getting this here for, being a member. So you don't have to do anything else. You're just going to get these. We're going to update the portal that has the version 1, and then all the downloads, any of those that change, we're going to give you all the templates, all of that stuff. So this is going to be really step by step. So it's going to be recordings and it's going to be live. Okay. So it's going to be a hybrid. So to answer your question, there is no time for the trainings in the middle of the week or during the week. But the call, we haven't settled on a time yet, but that'll most likely be on a Saturday. And then from there, it'll probably be about an hour to an hour and a half long. Okay. All right. Let me go here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Winston. Hey, Winston. Can I apply this strategy for my podcast? I've seen success with this with yours. Or have you seen success with it? Honestly, I think you can. But to be quite frank with you, I'm testing it right now. Okay. Because I seen this working in our other brands and I'm like, why shouldn't I be doing this? And I think we're going to be able to do okay. But the verdict is still kind of out, right? We haven't tested that, but I think it's going to do okay. I like this better than actually an Instagram strategy, to be honest with you, because it's evergreen, right? It's evergreen. And think about it. If you took this and you had supporting stuff that helps people do whatever your market needs to know, with your podcast, then you can create these multiple boards that lead them to your blog, which have your podcast on there. If you have a podcast, you should have a website where your show notes are, and that could also have pinnable images, and it can drive people to the blog post. I would recommend that. Marius. Okay, I got it now. Marius. Got it. All right, cool. How do you make sure your boards are evergreen assets? It's Pinterest. They're evergreen. Anything you put on Pinterest is evergreen. Okay, it's there. It's not going anywhere unless you delete it. Okay, so once you create a pin, you pin it on your board, it's there. When you put a pin on your website, it's there. So it's evergreen in Pinterest, and it's evergreen inside of your website. So that's why I love it, right? So when you're doing this, you're creating this pin, and you're creating, this ecosystem where it's going to be there 10 years from now if you want it to be. Okay, it's up to you if you want to delete it. Okay, let's see. Jennifer says, no, not using Pinterest. Okay. Do you have any interest to? Blog posts. Okay. Yeah, blog posts would be great. Mel, I started years ago. I haven't touched it since. I get so overwhelmed in Pinterest. Yeah, that's the thing though, Mel. We need to simplify it. And what I just covered with you is simplifying it. It does. Once you have the process down, see, I'm a big process person. Like if I'm doing something, I want to see it mapped out, and I want to connect the dots. And then I want to be like, okay, every time a blog post gets created, what happens? Okay. Well, part of that process is a new pinnable image gets created. It gets embedded on the blog. Okay. And then it also gets added to one of our boards inside of our Pinterest account, which also has a link driving back to that blog post. That's it. Now, if I want to take it a step further, I'm going to create 2 more pins, 2 more images that are not going to go on the website. They're going to go just on different boards in my account. This way here, I've got 2 more chances to be found on 2 more boards that lead back to the blog post. That's it. That's all we got to do, right? So yeah, I think you just need to simplify it. Jennifer says, will now. Awesome. Derek, no, first time I heard of Pinterest as a way of to drive traffic to website. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I think it's still a great, and again, the reason why it is really good for me is, and why I'm a believer in it now, is because it's evergreen, and we're not doing anything black hat. We're not doing any type of like, okay, create this thing. And we're not doing this. This is another strategy that other people will do. They'll go ahead and they'll try to get into Pinterest board groups or tribes, right? And so what they're doing is they're trying to rely on getting into groups where they're going to help share each other's stuff. We're not doing that. Why I did not want to do that, it's very simple. I can do that, and I can maybe find 5, but I can't predict that, right? I can't say, I'm going to show you how to find people and then reach out to these people and then hopefully get them. So if I'm successful in Pinterest because I found 3 really good groups, but the other stuff is like, it's kind of working, but not 100%, it's not something that you can replicate, right? I can't replicate that. I can replicate this, right? So now, will we add that later? Will we start adding that in? Yes. Once we get this rolling, we will then, yes, if there's a group that makes sense, we'll try to be part of a group. But that's also risky, because if you get kicked out of the group for whatever reason, you might lose that steady stream of traffic. So that's why we never want to do that. Okay, so this here was a Facebook user, and I'm not sure who it was. We had a lot on Instagram, so we made up boards and put up a lot of pins. Do I have to use others' pins? We have a lot on there right now. We are growing in Pinterest, but because I am doing worksheets and have other educational material, I would prefer to use my own, which we are adding all the time. That's the problem, though. You're not ever going to have enough to feed it correctly, right? So the other thing is Pinterest wants you to share other people's stuff. Okay. Because it looks spammy if you're just sharing your own stuff. So that's why you want to have a mix. So I would say, yes, you want to sprinkle in those ones that you're allowing those, but you're going to have also other boards that are only your stuff, right? So you have a mix of that. Okay. Let's see. Jennifer, by the way, got the brand creator playbook, going to add it to my weekly calendar to study. Awesome. And I think you're talking about this guy right here. And let me just tell you something. If you haven't done so already, Jennifer, make sure you print this out. All right. Everyone that purchases this, I have a little video that I go in and I just say, hey, print this thing. It's going to be money well spent. Might cost you $10 for ink and paper, but I'm telling you right now, it becomes, it brings it more to life, and then you can make notes. You can go back, you can refer to it right here. Definitely print that out. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? As far as pinnable pins on our blog post, is this easy to do? Technically, it is super easy to do. It's literally creating the pin, which, by the way, we're going to have some templates that we're going to create in Canva, and then we're going to give those to our students. You're going to basically create that pin, and you're going to add it to your blog post at the very bottom. And that's it. It's literally that simple. There's a plugin that you would want installed on the blog. Not hard. We're going to actually share that as well. And then all you're going to do is just add the image. Once you add the image, that's all you got to do. And it's literally like choose image, insert here, and that's it. And then you're done. On Pinterest, it's as simple as saying, I want to create a new pin and put it on my board. Here it is, right? That's it. It's really, really simple. Lisa, hey, Lisa, what's up? How are you? Just started focusing more attention on Pinterest this month. Integrates extremely well with Etsy and is already bringing about 10% of my traffic there. Thanks so much for the trainings. Awesome, Lisa. I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. Awesome. Great job, by the way. And you proved the concept. Ashley, not using Pinterest yet, but I'll make it my goal. So set up the Pinterest business account by the end of tomorrow so I can just make using it a part of my workflow as I start dripping out content. Yeah, Ashley, and I know your market will lend itself to this very well, very well. So for you, and I think you had said that you're possibly going to be joining the Pinterest training, the workshop. Yeah, if you have that set up, you'll be one step ahead. But with that being said, once we start going through this, we're going to really go through how to create the boards with the best keywords in mind. So even if you just set up 4 or 5 right now and just start getting the account active, that would be good. All right, so let's see here. Salama, each pin has to be keyword friendly or the board. Mostly the board, but the pins will be named as well. So, and then your images on it, like your image is going to have text on it. That's also what's going to say what it is, because it's a visual platform, right? It's not so much reading. Lisa, can't wait to create content and drive that traffic to my own page. Yeah, and I would try to do that as soon as possible, Lisa. As soon as possible. I'd like to know what you're up to too. Send me an email if you want, scott@brandcreators.com. Let me know what you're up to. I'm curious. I want to know how that little baby's doing. Grace, got to have your own real estate, AKA your own website. Yes, I call this your home base. Your home base is everything. Everything stems off of your home base in your email list. All right. Let's see, Karen, we had a lot of on Instagram before we opened a Pinterest account. So we made up boards. Okay. So this was the one from Facebook. I wonder why that wasn't coming through. So yes, I would pin your own stuff, but I would also pin other people's stuff. Okay. You want to reciprocate. You want to have that. Pinterest wants that. Okay. They want that. Kate, should we create the Pinterest biz account before the start of the class, or do you walk us through that too? We're going to walk you through that too. My daughter actually walks through step by step exactly how to do that. And also we've got like a roadmap that we're going to be going through. So everything from, doing the market validation on your market, but then also how to set everything up. Yes, it is going to be that detailed. And once we are done, even with just week 1, you will have the foundation built. And then week 2 is implementation and creating your own pins and then publishing those. That's really what it's going to be. But yeah, all of that is going to be done. We're also going to do some reviews of other people's accounts. So if you have an account and you want us to review it at the end of the week, we're going to do that too. Grace, it appears that your Pinterest course is geared towards beginners. Me. Yeah, it really is. If you already have a Pinterest presence and you are already getting traffic and you've got it dialed in, we might be able to add a tip or two. And who knows, that might be worth it. But yeah, for the most part, anyone that is not leveraging this platform or isn't doing it properly, because I was doing it wrong. I admitted that yesterday because I didn't want to monkey with it. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play with that. Who really cares, right? And then my daughter said, man, we should probably visit that. I'm getting some pretty good results on my website and in my Pinterest account. Maybe I can show you and we can do a test. And that's what we did. And we proved it over the past 2 months now. And it's working really well. Does the size of pinnable images slow your website speed? It can, but there's also a plugin that you can install on your website that optimizes the image for you. And it will allow it to compress faster. And I forget the name of that one. You'll have to ask me that one on another coffee talk. I'll have to look that one up. Mike, we drove a lot of traffic to our site with Pinterest when the first launched our business a few years ago. What puzzled us was the low conversion attributed to Pinterest. Don't know why. But was that a conversion to sale, Mike? Just curious. If it's traffic, was it link clicks over or was it purchases? And I think from the last conversation I had with you on this on a coffee talk is it was per sale. So the way to fix that for you is have a lead magnet that people are going to be driven to on your website. And then from there, capture the email address. That way you have multiple ways and multiple times that you can show up in front of them and present that offer again. So think about this. They hit your pin, they click over, they don't buy, they're gone, right? Well, what if you drove people to your website? You had a pop-up that came on and said, hey, download the 10 best fishing tips to catch more bass. They opt in. And then on the thank you page, you offer your product. And then you have their email address. You have them pixeled on Facebook, maybe, if you set that up, which I would recommend. And then you have multiple ways to get in front of them again. That might be the missing link there for you, Mike. Here's how I did mine. Printed. Oh, nice. So Mike is giving his printed version of the playbook. I love seeing that, by the way. If you guys do purchase the playbook, by the way, which if you're interested, I should probably throw that up. brandcreatorsbook.com. It is $4.99 and it helps me buy a cup of bulletproof coffee. Yeah, it does. And I enjoy it. You guys know that. But if you do purchase the book, what I would like you to do is print it and then take a picture of you holding it, letting me know that you did that. I would love to see that. It always warms my heart to see that. All right, let's see here. We're almost wrapping up. Let's see. Okay. Mike says, yes, we had traffic from the link clicks, but did not convert to sales. Exactly. So what I just shared with you is going to be your golden nugget of the day, right? Meaning if they're coming over to your website, you need to have a lead magnet, which we talked about in a past coffee talk. If you guys missed that, you can go back to the past coffee talks and you can find the one on lead magnets, because that one there will help you with that. But the lead magnet will allow you to be able to follow up with them through email. I would also recommend installing a Facebook pixel there. You build a custom audience on the back end, even if they don't opt in. A lot of great things you can do there with that traffic. Derek, how often do we have to post content from board to site, to website? Well, really, you just want to be active in the account. So even if you're not pinning your own stuff, just every day, you want to go in there for maybe like 10 minutes and just pin other people's stuff. You can also hire a VA to do this. It's not that hard. You just tell them what you want and then have them do it, or have your kid do it. It doesn't matter. I could have my 12-year-old do it for me if I needed someone to do it. It's that easy. But yes, I would say whenever you have a new piece of content, that's when you would be creating this. So we create about 3 different articles every single week. And so what we do is we create a new pinnable image for every single blog post that goes up there. Then you can always go back to and go, you know, this blog post is really doing kind of well. I think I'm going to create 3 more pins around that blog post. Just look, they look different. Their colors are different. The font is different. The image that I used in it is different. And now I have another asset on Pinterest that could lead people to that blog post. That's how that would work. Talk about the book again quick. Where do we find it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the book is brandcreatorsbook.com. That's this guy right here. 6 parts to building your brand. This is the playbook that we follow inside of Brand Creators Academy. This is where you develop your strategy and your plan to build out your brand from the ground up. So I come from the construction world where I used to build houses and remodel and all that stuff. It follows the same type of principles. We got to build a good foundation first, and then we start to put the other components together, and then we build a really, really solid foundation in-house following this right here. So you can find that by heading to brandcreatorsbook.com, and it's going to cost you a whole $4.99 if you're cool with that. But anyway, that's that. So, okay. So last little bit here, I did want to just remind you guys, we're going to wrap up. If you guys have any other questions on this, let me know. And then also, if you're interested in joining us, if you want a discount on our class that we're going to be teaching June 1st, all on this here, going through it, walking you through it, everybody's going to be kind of following the steps and building it together. And at the end of this training, which will be about 2 weeks long, we are going to have you ready and set to get out there and start creating some traffic and generating some traffic through Pinterest. So brandcreators.com/workshop is the URL. You can go there, check it out. If you're watching this after we close enrollment, which will be on May 31st, Sunday night, once we close down enrollment, and if you're watching this, you can still go there. And if we have an upcoming workshop, you can register there. Or if we have another training, because we're going to do more of these pop-ups really focused on certain areas of building your brand. One might be email list building. One might be content creation. We have some ideas. This one here is our first test here at these pop-up workshops. We're going to see how they go. This is the only time we've ever taught this outside of Brand Creators Academy, by the way. So if you're looking to join Brand Creators Academy, that won't be open until July, first week in July. But if you wanted to go through this training, we're going to open this up before we open up Brand Creators Academy, which is going to be in July. All right. So brandcreators.com/workshop. Check it out. If you're interested, you can go there and you can see everything that we're going to be teaching there. You can see some of the numbers that we've generated and everything that you're going to be learning. All right. So guys, if you have any other questions, let me know, drop them in the comments. I'll try to look at them. If you have any ideas for other coffee talks, let me know. Tomorrow, I might do a little bit more on this Pinterest thing. So if you have any more questions on the Pinterest, let's dig in tomorrow. Maybe I'll open up my my computer and we will dive in, and maybe we'll do a little bit of research inside of Pinterest for keywords or something like that. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I think that's what we'll do tomorrow. All right, guys, have an awesome, amazing day. And as always, take care, take action, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.